According to Rishi Sunak and the European Union, both sides are finally coming up with some sort of agreement on the Northern Ireland Protocol. But the key point is that Rishi Sunak has agreed to keep the protocol. Now, the problem with the post-Brexit agreements and all this stuff, including the NI protocol, is that there are various sides and you got the vested interests on both sides. But ordinary people in Northern Ireland especially, but also across the kingdom, have been saying that it's not working. Let's just remove it. Let's just completely go out there and become independent and bring back Northern Ireland into the United Kingdom, because Northern Ireland is currently not in the United Kingdom. They are completely linked, or at least partially linked to the European Union. And they said, well, if the whole argument is about a potential border, hard border between the Republic of Ireland and the United Kingdom, then let's do a bluff. Let's call their bluff and say Northern Ireland doesn't want a border, the United Kingdom doesn't want a border, and the Republic have claimed that they don't want a border. So the only group who want a border is the European Union. If they are really wanted, let's see if they are brave enough to go out there and build a border, an actual hard border with extra checks, and see what happens. See who's going to be causing trouble. Now, the problem is that Rishi Sunak, as Prime Minister, is a little bit weak and feeble. So he decided to say, actually, fine, let's just keep the whole thing. And we'll just come up with more technical solutions. The same so-called technical solutions that's been going on since 2017. Since Theresa May. Nothing has changed. Nothing has changed, as Theresa would say. So, EU and UK are getting closer to have a provisional Brexit deal in the Northern Ireland talks. It's the same thing that they've been talking about every single time. Well, what is this? What's the point of this? I mean, for those who are quite interested to find out, what sort of new technical solutions are you going to come up with? The provisional agreement would still require political sign-off, obviously. So the Westminster Parliament and the Irish side and the European Union side. A public announcement apparently could be made within the next 10 days. So that is quite interesting. So with this channel, we'll keep an eye on the developments on this, because the mainstream media are a little bit behind everything. I am not surprised. But the details. So Bloomberg reported this, and it's quite interesting that they talk about new agreements on the existing arrangements. And they said that the two sides have been locked in intense negotiations for weeks, technically for years, and officials are now close to finding solutions at a technical level covering most pending issues. So now that includes customs, state aid, sanitary checks, and agriculture, agri-food goods, and according to people who spoke anonymously about the talks that haven't been included, they haven't actually finished the whole thing. So all these ideas that came out of DEXU, the Brexit department at the time, when you had David Davis and Steve Baker running the show, and then you had Boris Johnson coming in, and then you had about 15 other prime ministers since then. Everyone had some idea, and the European Union rejected all of them. And they said, all we have to do is keep the Northern Ireland Protocol. So essentially, what we're going to do, we're going to pick one of those ideas that's already been mentioned, maybe a little bit amended, but then Northern Ireland would still remain linked to the European Union. Okay, so what is the point of all this? I have no idea. Basically, it's a never-ending discussion. It's clearly now an endemic when it comes to Brexit Britain. They cannot expect us as a new independent country to truly be independent when part of our kingdom is still linked to an international institution and the rest of the kingdom is still linked to many other international treaties that restrict us and our parliament, especially when it comes to ECHR, when it comes to international law over deportations and migration and border issues. So we can't even make up our own decisions. So we are not truly independent. So you cannot judge Brexit Britain based on the current circumstances. Anyway, let me know what you think. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Mahyar, Tousi, and we are the media.